A reading from the Gospel of Luke. Whoever is faithful in a little is faithful also in much, and whoever is dishonest in very little is dishonest also in much. If then you have not been faithful with the dishonest wealth, who will entrust to you the true riches? And if you have not been faithful with what belongs to another, who will give you what is your own? No slave can serve two masters, for a slave will either hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth. The Pharisees, who were lovers of money, heard all this, and they ridiculed him. So he said to them, "You are those who justify yourselves in the sight of others, but God knows your hearts. For what is prized by human beings is an abomination in the sight of God." Jesus is not playing today in this passage from Luke. And he's pretty much said, pick a side. Whose side are you on, God's or the other side? You cannot serve God and mammon or wealth. Jesus is very concerned on our preoccupation with wealth as a distraction to the things of God. He invites us to really consider what are our priorities and what motivates us to do the things that we do. What an interesting backdrop for our saint of the day, Bishop Robert Grosseteste. A medieval brilliant mind. I have to say, in this Seasons of Saints, I've learned so much. I did not know the ministry of Bishop Robert Grosseteste until very recently, and discovered that he is such a phenomenal mind, a medieval theologian, scientist, philosopher, with humble backgrounds from Suffolk. He was noted very early for having a brilliant mind. But with that intellect, he also had such a passion for the church. He was driven and unparalleled with his devotion and his stick-to-itiveness on the integrity of the church, combining his scholarship, his passion, and his relentless passion for drive to keep the church untainted by corruption. Bishop Grosseteste was on a mission. I also think it's interesting his name means great head. And what a great head and great mind indeed. In fact, he was one of those characters that shaped the intellectual mind in the medieval England. Scientist extraordinaire, philosopher, translating the great classics from Greek to Latin to English effortlessly. But what I find also most compelling about this brilliant mind is love for the church. He went after the Pope, he went after the churches. He thought that all pastors should commit themselves to their congregations and to study and to inquiry, religious inquiry, scientific inquiry. What an outstanding character that we have on our saints. Protecting the church in England before it became the Church of England, keeping it free from corruption. The Pope was trying to send pastors from Italy to the churches in England, or actually not sending them, but saying that they went there so that they could receive recompense, and Bishop Grosseteste was not having it. He went after anyone who thought that they could taint the church. What a legacy we have from this brilliant scholar who could have gone in any number of disciplines: theology, philosophy, science, physics, mathematics, architecture. He was a mentor to Roger Bacon, as well as other scientists. And we're just kind of catching up on just how important his works were for the life of the church today. What a testimony to have such a scholar in his own right to be so passionate about our beloved church. May we have those convictions and may we stretch our minds. God has given us so many gifts. May we too use all of those gifts for the life of the church as well as one another. He believed when we stand together in unity that we could create this just world we so desperately seek. We thank God for Bishop Robert Grosseteste this morning. Amen.